All right, so number 5, it has two parts. We got some sample data, and they want us to find the sample variance and the standard deviation. Sample variance and standard deviation. So I'm going to do it by hand once, and then I'm going to show you with the calculator with technology, and we're going to use that from now on just to speed it up, because it is very time consuming, and most of the time you're going to use technology. So first we want to find the sample variance. So let me remind you of that formula. S squared is equal to the sum of each xi, each data value, minus the sample mean squared divided by n minus 1. The standard deviation is the same thing, you just do the square root. So it's the sum of each individual data value from the mean squared divided by n minus 1. So here we got 5 values. So make a table. And 8. We can add these all up. 30, 45, 53. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 values. .8. Sorry, it's kind of running off the screen. So let's just confirm that. 20 plus 10 plus 6 plus 9. 20 plus 20 plus 10 plus 6 plus 9 plus 8. Divide by 5. 10.6. Yep. Error. 60%. Alright, so now we're going to take each individual value and subtract the mean. So we're going to do 20 minus 10.6. We're going to do 10 minus 10.6. 6 minus 10.6. 9 minus 10.6. And 8 minus 10.6. Now, just to speed this up, I'm going to perform these calculations in the calculator. So I'm going to input all the data. 6, 9, 8. Okay. So now I'm going to go to L2, and I'm going to tell it to take all of these values and subtract 10.6. So I'm going to say second L1, take all those values in L1. We're going to subtract 10.6. Right, so these are my values. 9.4, negative 0.6. Negative 1.6, sorry, negative 4.6, and then negative 1.6, and then negative 2.6. Okay, if you add all of these numbers up, okay, which I will do over here, so I'm going to take 9.4 plus negative 0.6 plus negative 4.6 plus negative 1.6, and then plus negative 2.6. So this should be 0. Okay, that's always the case. So then you take these differences and you square them. So this is that form. You're going to square all these numbers. Again, I'm going to use the calculator to compute these values. So this is the x minus x bar squared computation. Okay. So I'm going to go back to stat, my list. I'm going to tell list 3 to take the values in list 2 and then square them. So I get these numbers. 88.36, 0.36, 21.16, 2.56, and then 6.76. Okay. At this point, we're almost there. We're going to add up all of these numbers. And I think I can get the calculator to do that for me as well. Math. The summation symbol right here. I want you to sum L3. To take that list and add up all those numbers. 2, then when we go to, let me see if I just do it from the home screen. Second, I go to math. Arrow up to sum. That's adding the summation. Maybe I know there's a way. I've had to check on that later. Okay, let's not worry about it. We can just type them in and add them up. Here they are right here. 88.36 plus 0.36. Plus 21.16 plus 2.56 plus 6.76. We get 119.2. And then the last thing we do with this value is divide by n minus 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values. So I'm going to take this number divided by 4. And that's going to give me my variance. I'm running out of room there. So I'm going to take this number, divide by 4. It gives me 29.8. And then if I do the square root of that, S is just equal to the square root of the 29.8. So let's do second square root, 29.8. And we are supposed to round to 1 decimal place that's needed, so we're going to say 5.5. 5.5. Approximately 5.5. Okay, so now we're going to let the calculator also confirm these numbers. So I've already done part of it. Go to stat, enter on edit. So these is my original data here in L1. I'm just going to clear these numbers out just so it doesn't confuse anything. Okay. Once we have the data entered in L1, we're going to go back to stat. We're going to go over to calculate, and we're going to say one variable statistics. Okay, go down to calculate, hit enter, and it gives us a whole list of information. So up here, X bar, that's our sample mean, which is what we computed, 10.6. It tells you 53 is a total. That's what we got when we added them up. So this sum X means add up all the values. So this sum X squared, this is something different you can use. SX is the sample standard deviation, which is what we got, 5.45, but we rounded to 5.5. So that's this number here. and then you just square that to get your variance, which we already worked it out by hand. They don't show you the variance, they give you the sample standard deviation and the sample variance. And then they also give you the minimum and the maximum. You can use those to find the range when you find the measure of spread. And then, as we mentioned before, you got the median there as well. So here they want us to find the sample variance. So that's going to be S squared. We computed that. We got 29.8. 29.8. Now, with this calculator, once you compute the statistics, once you get it to spit this out, you can recall this number and square it to get the variance. The way you do that is you go to VARs. You got to go down to option number 5, statistics. This symbol right here, SX, is the sample standard deviation. You grab that number and you square it, and it gives you the 29.8, which is what we computed. And then it asks for the sample standard deviation, which we already computed that as well, so 5.5. Main thing is make sure you pick the correct one, because sample is S, population is going to be with the sigma.